everybody, welcome to another episode of Widgets and Wonders. I'm Ash, and this is my show about great products from small companies. Now today I'm going to be showing you products that aren't available yet, but they are available for pre-order, and it's gaming mats from a company called Urban Mats. Now these are located in Europe, so if you're on the continent or you're in the UK, this is a great local source for you guys to get great looking gaming mats, and he has done a gaming mat for almost every system he can think of at launch. Now these are neoprene mousepad gaming mats, so they're in the same territory as Frontline Gaming or Micro Art Studios sort of style of mats. Martin's done the art himself, beautifully illustrated these mats. So let's take a look. I'm going to show you 4 different mats today. Those are the ones I got my hands on early, and yeah, we'll take a look. So the ones we're going to see today are useful for a variety of different games. So if you're interested in playing any post-apocalyptic games, 40K, Age of Sigmar, old Warhammer Fantasy Battle, dungeon crawling games, even D&D, or more sort of modern sci-fi games like Infinity, I think these are definitely worth a look. So let's jump in right now and take a look at mats from Urban Mats. So here's the first mat we're going to take a look at, and it's called Concrete Area. Now it's a 6x4 gaming mat, and these are not a sort of like significant in gaming terms size. I believe they're about 9.5 or 10 inches. They're not like 12 or 6 inches or something common where they might give you the ability to pre-measure. This is a great sort of like destroyed urban environment mat. There's some sort of like nondescript destroyed rubbish, sort of like rubble and stuff in here. Some sort of like little bits of sort of, I guess, manhole cover or tech plating or something like that. And then just lots and lots of moss and overgrown stuff. My first thought when I saw this was the video game The Last of Us. If you ever played that game, it's basically 20 something years in the future from a fall where there's a huge sort of like, I guess it's a plague. The cordyceps virus comes out and everyone turns into like a fungus zombie and wipes out humanity. And it looks like it's sort of a 20 years down the road after the apocalypse kind of a mat. So I'm super excited about it. I think it would work great for zombie games and stuff too. There's some kind of esoteric stuff. So like for instance, this is all huge like bones or some kind of like fossil basically. It's been stacked around this pile of trash. And there is a giant like sort of monster skull over here, cattle skull or whatever. So it kind of lends itself to the idea of like a radioactive sort of like post-nuclear future or whatever. But yeah, no, so this is the first mat. This is Concrete Area, 6x4. Let's take a look at the next one. So this next one is called Cobblestone Battlefield. And this might be the one I'm most excited about because it's the one that's the least like anything I already have. So this one looks like a massive dungeon floor. So this is again a 6x4. You can get it different sizes as well. But you've got just a huge field of cobbles broken up by some neat little details, bits of moss, some blood spatter and stuff like that where something's been murdered. And then little sort of like detail-y bits like just kind of a, I don't know if it's a well or a manhole cover. It can kind of be whatever you like. I actually like how muted some of the detail is in this mat because it allows you to sort of, how can I put it, multi-genre it. So this could be an outdoor Mordheim map if I put my Mordheim buildings on it. In fact, here's one of my Mordheim buildings on top of it right now, so you guys can have a look at what that looks like. You can see just how it sort of, the transitional colors sort of blend really nicely and allow even like a brown and gray to sit really nicely on top of it. So this would be great for Mordheim as like Mordheim city streets, and then sort of your rubble and your buildings and stuff sit on top of it. It'll even work for sort of a ruined industrial city in 40K. So if I throw a 40K ruin on it, I think it'll look just as good as if I have Mordheim ruins on it. And then finally, I don't have any terrain to show you this idea that I have, but what I'd like to, actually I kind of do. It'll work for Frostgrave. Actually, this was the other thing I was thinking, was it would work just as well for snow as it will for not snow. Like the colors are really kind of perfectly neutral for putting different terrain on. But my long-term idea for this is actually to use it as a dungeon table. So and these are the walls Owen made. Making a whole bunch of modular walls on this one and basically being able to drop down line of sight blocking terrain and have this be an underground thing. So I have a similar idea for a starship mat that's being done by somebody else. I think this mat would be perfect for doing like an interior to a dungeon like Warhammer Quest style. So playing some games that are, you know, more D&D, truncheons and flagons, sort of a dungeon crawl. So yeah, this is the second one. This is the Cobblestone Battlefield. Let's take a look at the next one. So this next mat's called Urban District, and this would be good for Infinity and any other kind of near future gaming you want to do. You can use it for 40K if you're going for a very clean city street style. Now, I really like this mat. The printing on it and the crispness of the detail is like fantastic. Like I can see really miniature sort of like road cracks in the asphalt here, and they're very 3D. They have a great depth of shadow and stuff. So I would say this is maybe the crispest gaming mat I've seen for like a sort of near future sci-fi slick sort of cyber run thing. And it's actually clean enough detail wise. There isn't enough crazy sort of tech stuff on it that I couldn't use it for like a zombie game or sort of like a contemporary style game. And there's not like huge landing pads or crazy bright shiny neon stuff on it either. So it would work, I think, equally well for like a near future or even modern combat game as it would for something like Infinity. So there's, again, it is a city street map, so it does have sort of like predetermined blocks and stuff. But one of my favorite things about this map is that everything's at an odd angle. Nothing is exactly parallel. So if you do have, you know, your sort of your train and stuff blocked out on here, it'll be at a 30-degree twist, which creates longer fire lanes going this way if you have them. But typically you can break it up because when things are at an angle, it's easier to superimpose more than one thing to create block line of sight. So at least that's my belief and that's my experience. I always try and give everything a twist when I put it terrain, especially for games like Infinity where line of sight's such a big deal. It does keep a really clean palette too, if you notice. The palette's kind of consistently cool with bits of warm, but the warm colors actually have some sort of cool embellishments in them as well, so they don't pop too hard. I think probably the brightest bit is this red bit right here, but even it has some sort of like cool mossy colors in it as well that mean that the thing achieves sort of an overall tone that I really like. So this is Urban District. This is the third mat we're looking at today from Urban Mats. All right, so here we have the final mat. This is called Death Zone. This is designed, I think, to be sort of an Age of Sigmar, Dungeons, Diablo, Dark World in Darkness kind of a mat. You can see in the middle of the table something really bad happened. I'm not really sure what it is, but it looks like a whole bunch of people either got eaten or turned into red paint. It kind of reminds me of Dark Silent Hill. I imagine that like if I put some ruined sort of like northeastern US buildings around here and had a guy with a pyramid head walking around, it would not look too amiss. So I think a great table for Age of Sigmar stuff. Once again, it's in nice neutral tones, so you could put down some fairly generically painted Age of Sigmar terrain and it won't look amiss. So it's because it's in a sort of neutral palette, I think you're going to get a great bunch of mileage out of anything that's based brown, anything that's based gray, what have you. It's not really going to matter. You'll be able to sort of show off terrain on this mat and have it all kind of blend in. So Martin, again, great job on just the tones on these mats. Because they're so consistent and because they're in a sort of like wonderfully neutral palette, you tend to have a great sort of flexibility in your terrain placement and what you're actually going to put on top of it. The other thing I really like about this mat, and I don't know if you can see it from this photo or not, or from the camera or not, but it actually looks like there's darkness at the edges and there's something in the middle lightening it up. So it actually gets darker the further away from the center you get and lighter towards the middle, as if there's some kind of like action happening here. So I could actually see like an encampment. I was gonna joke this would be my ogre tribe's kitchen and like put a bunch of kitchen implements here, and this is just like where they make dinner, which would make sense. But it's a very neat effect because it looks like it's actually getting lighter and brighter the closer you get to the center of the table, as if there's some kind of like torches or big fiery thing in the middle of it. So if I put a big flaming realm gate in the middle of it, it would actually look really cool because it would look like it was lighting the whole table up. So anyway, here's our fourth mat from Urban Mats. This one's called Death Zone. All right, so there you have it, Urban Mats. Now, great job, Martin, on these. Full disclosure, I did actually pay for these. Martin helped me out with some shipping, but I thought they were cool enough, and I liked his project enough that I just said, yep, sell them to me, and I'll do this Widgets and Wonders for you, because I thought they were great. You'll see them in lots of battle reports upcoming. Now, if you want to pre-order them, you can go to Urban Mats with a Z. That's right, I'm from Canada, a Z.com, and you can pre-order them. They're 59 euros, which at the time of filming this is roughly 90 US/Canadian dollars. Actually, it's probably more like 75 US bucks for a 6x4. They get cheaper, I think, a little bit as they get smaller. And he's estimating a release in December. So there'll be a link in the video description below. You can go to urbanmats.com. Mats with a Z, not a Z, because we're from Canada, and that's how we say it. Yeah, if you like them, check them out. I'm super excited about them. I'll probably get a lot of mileage in the future. Martin, thank you so much for sending us your pre-release copies so that we could check them out and you guys could all just see them. Now, if you guys know of a great product from a small company, you want to put them in touch with me, they can email me at guerrillaminiaturegames@gmail.com, or they can message me through my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/outofthebasement into the streets. I am happy for free to help out anybody who's got a great product they want to bring to market. It's a really brave thing to try and make something and show it to people, and I'm more than willing to support that. So once again, this is Widgets and Wonders. I'm Ash. Thanks for watching. Happy working.